Welcome everybody one more time at Kitchen Orama. Now every time we talk about tropical fruits, we think about coconut or mangoes, but seldom do we think about papaya as a tropical fruit. So let's go ahead and explore papaya into an Indian dessert called halwa. Now for this, you would need half a papaya, skinned and seeded out and cut into bite-sized pieces, 1/2 cup of semolina, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1 cup or 8 ounces of coconut milk, half a cup of desiccated dry coconut or dry coconut powder, 4 to 5 tablespoons of ghee or clarified butter, a cup of assorted nuts and golden raisins, and about 2 teaspoons of powdered nuts and cardamom for garnish. Now saffron is completely optional. Go ahead, take your papaya pieces in a blender and whip it up to make it into very fine puree and set it aside. Now if you have an Instant Pot, it would be a good time to turn it on saute mode, but if you do not have an Instant Pot, this recipe can be easily made in any thick bottom pan. Go ahead and add your ghee once your Instant Pot is ready, and once your ghee warms up, go ahead and drop your dried nuts into the ghee and start sauteing them. Now you want to make sure that your cashews turn light gently golden brown, and at that point you're going to go ahead and add your golden raisins and mix them all well up together. Now golden raisins, or any raisins for that matter, when they start warming up, they start swelling up and they start popping. Now once that starts happening, that's your indication that they are cooked. And once you get a good nice golden brown color again, go ahead and add your desiccated coconut powder and start mixing it all well up together till you get a very beautiful dark golden brown color. At this point, you will add your papaya puree to your nut mix and start mixing it all well up together. You want to make sure that the papaya puree comes to a jam consistency where you can see the ghee separating from it a little bit. At this point, you will add your granulated sugar and start mixing it well together. Because papaya is ripe and it innately has a sweet flavor, this recipe calls in for half of the volume of sugar that you would normally use for a dessert. So using the ripest papaya you can get is the best way to make sure you're using less sugar. I'm using only a 1/2 cup here. On the contrary, if you're doing any other dessert, you might need a little bit more. Now gently close the lid of the Instant Pot, and if you're doing a regular pan, just put a lid on it, and this will make sure that the papaya cooks well to a jam consistency. Now once that happens, go ahead and add your coconut milk and start stirring it up again. And once your coconut milk and your papaya starts cooking, you want to make sure that everything comes one together. Keep stirring it occasionally because you don't want it to stick to the bottom and burn. Now my lens of my phone camera is kind of fogging, so I'm going to clean it, make sure you guys can have a good look at what I'm doing here. And once you feel that your papaya puree is bubbling and ready to go, at this point, you will start adding your semolina. Now there is a trick to how you add semolina here. You might want to add it with one hand gently while stirring with the other hand. You do not want to dump your entire semolina at once because it will just lump up and it will practically destroy your dessert, and you do not want to do that. So go ahead and gently add portion by portion while you're simultaneously stirring it with the other hand so that it all well blends up and comes together. At this point, it looks a little creamier than a cookie dough. That's the consistency you're looking for. But you can also see that semolina is still raw, and you can see those white spots that tells you that it's still raw and it needs more time to cook. But this is a good time, if you've got it to this consistency, put the lid back on and go ahead and completely turn off your Instant Pot or the gas stove. The remaining heat in the pot is enough for the semolina to cook. And at this point, you will notice after 4 to 5 minutes, those white granules are gone and your semolina is completely cooked. You have made one of the most delicious and amazing papaya halwa. This is moist and granular at the same time, so you can shape them into any sizes or shapes that you would like. Add a dash of powdered nut and saffron if you have, to garnish and enjoy with friends and family. And do not forget to subscribe.